Barcelona then 1 point clear of Real Madrid. Just a word on this, and the thing is, we kind of thought, well, maybe now that Hansi Flick had a summer to work with his team, could work on this defence. But I feel like we're seeing those same sort of frailties, Alex, that we saw last season. And there is a real soft belly as these games go on that Barcelona fans are sweating, and rightly so. And you feel it could come and bite them in the butt again when it comes to those big games, say, in the Champions League.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, maybe it's a characteristic of this Hansi Flick team. It's a high-risk approach, and there are times that it's going to come back and bite you, but mostly it doesn't. Last season was a terrific success. They won the league. They went all the way to the Champions League semi-finals. Of course, in the Champions League semi-finals, in the end, they came unstuck, but they had a very, very good season. And maybe it's a price you have to pay. Playing this kind of football, it's going to work for you most of the time until it doesn't. Now, of course, PSG in the Champions League in midweek is a big one. I tell you, a really, really attractive fixture for the neutral, because these are two teams that really play on the front foot. PSG, another risk-taking team. So let's see how it goes. But like I say, maybe it's the price you pay. And if that's the case, well, last year it worked out pretty well.
I think. Well, just briefly on the back four, in particular, I think they look to me as if they're giving up more chances than they did last year, and that's saying something with the success that they had, particularly domestically. But I do think, whilst he's not the greatest defender that's ever played the game, I think Martinez going to Saudi Arabia has been a big miss for them. Yeah. Because what he was somebody who organised the back four. So you may have agree or disagree on the high line, but it operated pretty well as a unit. You could, we sat here and said, well, it was too high, it was too risky, but you watched them when they did it and they came out as a four. And they squeezed it as a unit, which you have to do. You can't go in ones and twos. It's just never going to work. And one of the reasons that Araujo didn't play as much last year was, one, injury, but two, that he doesn't understand how to operate the back four as well as Martinez did as an experienced player. Well, he doesn't have that now. And this back four is chopped and changed. It was Christensen and Araujo, Cubarasi's been in there, Eric Garcia's been in there, Eric Garcia's been at right back, Gerard Martin's playing left back at the moment. We know he's a little bit of a weak link. So the fact that they're getting the results in the top of the league with this back four at the moment, I think it's a decent job. There are, for all these teams, and I include Atleti in this, there are still Atleti, Barca and Real Madrid, there are still a lot of questions. Yeah. There's still a lot of facets of these three teams where you think, I can get at that, I could beat them there, they're weak there, they're weak there. So I think it's going to make for a really exciting La Liga title race, but don't underestimate how big a blow it was losing Martinez to Saudi Arabia for that back four.
As Alex mentioned, though, Wednesday, PSG against Barcelona. I don't care if this is only the second game of the group stage. Both teams are going to go out. They're going to try and win it. It's going to be brilliant.
Two of the best footballing teams in Europe. You saw that all of last season. Yeah, without question. And both, as Alex mentioned, attack-minded. And while, yes, they do defend, at times the focus is really more on outscoring the opponent. This really is a difficult one to call. We saw PSG start of last season slowly, certainly in Europe, and then get a whole lot better as the year changed. You just want to see in this difficult test this early on how Luis Enrique's men cope with this part of the season. That for me is interesting. And again, it's a good test for Barcelona.
And PSG have got a lot of people missing, of course, potentially unavailable for the tie.
But they lost at Marseille recently because Frank reckoned it was because of the injuries, but obviously they have a lot of these big players out. But I think both teams, even though it's very early in the competition for two teams like this to be meeting, this is because of this new format. I think both are going to go for it because,
absolutely,
if one wins and one loses, they're both probably still going to make it through because of the sort of parachute of this sort of gigantic group stage. But you want to set a marker down for the rest of your season, as in picking up the momentum. Getting a result against another side that are considered favourites to win the competition. So I don't think there's going to be any thoughts in the minds of Hansi Flick or indeed Luis Enrique saying, well, it doesn't matter what happens in this game because we're going to qualify anyway. It's a good gauge of where you are early in the season.
Just a reminder as we say goodbye to Alex, thank you very much. Are you going to any of these Champions League games? You're not on the plane to Kazakhstan, obviously.
Couldn't make it out to Kazakhstan, so I'll be watching from home on TV.
Because if he lost his bag over there, it'd be a bit difficult getting clobber.
Yes, of course.
Well, not that they don't sell clothes in Kazakhstan. I'm sure they do.
You all right?
Yeah.
Good. Thank you very much, Alex. So, second round of matches in the Champions League. Last week, of course, they were Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Now they're just Tuesday and Wednesday. You take a look at this. It is really not a good week.
Well, Chelsea, Benfica's exciting.
Well, yes, that's what I'm going to get to.
All right.
Now, but look at that. That is awful.
Why didn't you tell me that?
I'm very
Oh, God.
Well, I'm looking forward to Bodo Glimt v Spurs.
Well, yeah.
Isn't that a repeat of last year?
I don't know. As Craig mentioned, it is Benfica against Chelsea, the return of Jose Mourinho to Stamford Bridge.
There was a set period where even myself from the outside, I was putting some question marks because it looked like Chelsea lost her identity as a club. But what happened in the last season put things back on track. I think they gave trust to Enzo. He brought his ideas. He fitted well with the philosophy they want to give to the club. The Conference League is an easy competition for a big club to win it. I did it with Roma. It's quite an easy competition to win for a big club. And then the Club World Cup, people can say, I also say, the Champions League is much more important. But that badge means a lot.
Well, Mourinho really bring the energy there ahead of this game.
Do you know what was? Does anybody? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 was here. Anybody know what he was waffling on?
Well, he was saying about how Chelsea have changed. They stuck with Enzo. Look, they won the Conference League, but that was quite easy. He'd already won that.
Things
with
are
Roma.
changing at Chelsea. They have an identity again. They won the Conference League, which I also won because that's easy. Really good week because they've just won 2. Oh, they've lost 2 games in a row. Man United and Brighton.
Oggy, how much is Mourinho going to love all the attention tomorrow?
Oh, it's all about him, isn't it? And,
yeah.
This is probably his last visit to Chelsea, isn't it? I don't think he'll be back again. I think there's a suggestion in Portugal that the Benfica job is only a stopgap until he takes the Portugal job after the World Cup, and then, fireworks on the international stage. So this could be his so-called last dance at Stamford Bridge, and I think he'll love every minute of it. He'll love being, welcomed back by the fans. They'll sing his name. He'll dance around on the touchline. He'll make sure he's the centre of attention. He might even get a result as well because Chelsea aren't doing too well at the moment, a lot of injuries, so it wouldn't surprise me if Benfica get a draw, even a win at Stamford Bridge, and Jose laps it all up in good old Jose fashion.
Jose's going to love it, Shaq.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, he... And
it's like Craig going to a golf course.
well, you don't know what golf and Craig is like. That's it.
I've also had my last visit to Stamford Bridge.
I'm not sure it's quite the same reception.
But unfortunately, I didn't get the cheers and the adulation.
Jose will love it, and rightly so. I mean, his record at that club really. I mean, he put Chelsea on the map. Fans appreciate that.
Chelsea on the map.
Well, you know what I mean. Well,
I did
first
that.
title in 50 years.
Frank's on the phone. I want to get fit up for Shaka.
First title in 50 years and all that. Rightly so. I well thought of, well remembered, and would be deserving of.
If that's the best game.
That's the one that you highlighted.
Well, I'm saying all I'm going to say is if that's the best game, we're in banging trouble tomorrow.
Me and Shaq are off tomorrow.
Are you?
Yeah, you're banging trouble.
Hold on.
There
Phone
we
call
go.
coming in. The boss.
There you are. Real Madrid's early as well. You're going to have to get in early for that, Craig. Enjoy.
I don't get.
Oggy, where are you going? Are you going to go to Stamford Bridge for this? What are you going to do this couple of days?
I'm going to Wrexham v Birmingham on Friday. That's my big game this week.
Good old corporate Oggy. There he is. Good boy.
There you go.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.